What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Sister Girl on Films, and I am coming back with another movie review. Today I will be discussing Cats, which has been widely viewed as a box office bomb. So Cats, if you are not familiar with the plot, is essentially about a group of stray cats that want to ascend to basically like almost like cat heaven. It's called the Heaviside Land. I think that's what it's called. And no, Heaviside Lair. And in order to get there, they have to be chosen by like the queen of the stray cats. In the film that is played by Judi Dench, and her name is Deuteronomy. And so she selects a chosen one basically, and then that cat gets to ascend to the heavens and be reborn into a brand new, better life among the stray cats. Okay, that's what Cats is about. So this adaptation of Cats stars Francesca Hayward as Victoria, who is a cat that was recently discarded by her human family. And so she meets the Jellicoe cats, and basically they're just kind of giving her like a tour of the stray cat life. That's essentially what's happening here. Like they're introducing her to all their crew, and they're basically like showing her their performance that they're going to do at the Jellicoe ball, so they can be selected as like the Jellicoe cat and be the chosen one. And amidst all that, Idris Elba plays Mckellen, who is a bad cat that wants to be the chosen one, and he refuses to not be chosen. So he does a bunch of mischievous things throughout the movie or throughout the musical to ensure that he's selected as a Jellicoe cat. So that's basically what Cats is about, y'all. I know there's been a lot of people that said they didn't have a plot, but I mean, it kind of had a plot, a little bit, I guess. Going into Cats, I knew it was a musical. What I didn't expect was that it was like 90% musical and maybe like 10% dialogue, and I might be giving it more credit than that, because it could be like 5% because it's very little dialogue. And for me, that was the issue that I had with the film, just because it was so much singing. Some of the songs to me were just like gibberish. It threw me off. And there were times I'm like, are they legit just like singing dialogue? Because that's what it sounded like. It didn't sound like a song. It just sounded like dialogue being sung. So that was very jarring to me. And it really took me out of the experience. Not that I was that immersed in it in the first place, but the little bit of attention I did give it, it took me out of it just because some of the songs were so gibberishy. That's not a word, but it is today, okay? Did enjoy a couple of performances though. Jennifer Hudson, as you may know, gave an amazing performance singing Memories, which is the most popular song from this musical. And she sang her butt off with this song. She did an amazing job. There was also a performance by Ian Mckellen. He plays Gus the theater cat, and I thoroughly enjoyed his song and his performance. Very theater, honey, very theater, and I loved it. There was also another cat. I forget his cat name, but he was the train cat. His was by far my favorite performance. Like I was dancing in my seat, tapping my foot. His performance was by far the best. He was a tap dancing cat. So there was a tap routine. Some of the other background dancers were tapping. It was like a scene change. That was the best performance of the film as far as I'm concerned. And then there was another scene where all the Jellicoe cats first started the Jellicoe ball. And the very opening number to that was, to me at least, was visually stunning, because the dancers were just so in sync and their movement was just beautiful to watch. Like, these are some very talented dancers. Like, for nothing else, the dancing in this film was so good. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed a lot of the performances in this, in terms of the singing and the dancing. I can't hate on any of that. So to me, those were really some of the best parts of the film. Jason Derulo was in it, as you know. His name was like Rum something cat, rum pum pum, I don't know, rum something cat. I always knew Jason Derulo could sing, but I didn't know he could sing, and he was singing in this movie. I was thoroughly impressed. Like, I would love to see him do more Broadway, and just really showcase his vocals a lot more, because we know he's a pop singer and all that, but he showcased those vocal abilities in this with hitting high notes, falsettos. His runs were amazing. He just did the damn thing, and he's not bad to look at. I think he's a very beautiful man with a beautiful smile, even though he was in cat CGI work. I mean, he's just fine. That's how I feel about that. So those were the things that I really liked about this film. What I did not like about this film, even though I love musicals, I am a huge fan of musicals, Broadway musicals, a lot of musicals that have been turned into films, I am a huge fan of. This one was just boring. A man in front of me was asleep. He was snoring. So the film is definitely not that exciting, doesn't keep your attention. And I think that it's to me, it's for a very specific audience. I think it's really for people who, number one, if you are a cat owner. The lady that was behind me, she was having a good time. I assume she probably owned a cat, because she was just cackling and cracking up. She had her a good old time in this movie. I am a dog person, so I don't know anything about the traits of cats, but I could see how if I were a cat person, if I owned a cat, that I probably would have enjoyed this a little bit more, because I'm like, yep, my cat does that, or yep, that's funny, that's how my cat acts. So I think that if you own a cat, if you're a cat person, you will really like this film. I think that if you also are a fan of the musical, you'll really enjoy it. And I think that if you're a fan of like theater and musicals in general, you'll find some enjoyment in it. You might necessarily like it, but you'll find some enjoyment in it. I don't really understand why this movie was made, I want to be honest. I feel like Universal probably thought that it would be a much bigger draw, because they had all these star-studded actors in it, that people would just flock to it. It came out during the holidays. They just knew there'd be a money grab, to the point where they spent $90 million making this film, y'all. $90 million making this film. Today, as far as I know, this film, at least domestically, has only brought in, I think, maybe $30 million. That's a huge loss. So to say this is a flop in terms of numbers, that would be an understatement. I don't think it just translates well to the big screen, because we can see everything very crystal clear. So there was no need for me to have these overly exaggerated cat movements when you're dressed like a fucking cat. I know you're a cat. I'm looking at you, cat person. So guys, I just feel like this movie was not necessary. I think that it was a failed attempt at a quick cash grab. Wasn't as bad as everyone said that it was, but I don't think that this movie was good. So with that being said, I would have to give this a Sista Gurl rating of stream that shit. Don't go to the movies and see this. Do not spend your money. I think that if you are interested just to see what all the buzz about, I would say wait until it comes on Netflix or the Redbox or the DVD, Blu-ray comes out. No, because then that require you to spend more money. No, just wait till it comes out on Prime, Amazon Prime, whatever streaming service you use. Just stream it. Don't purchase this film unless you love it. You might love it. I did not. Let me know in the comments below if you checked out Cats. I'm sure you did not. Always, guys, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'm gonna see y'all next time for something else. Thank you so much for your support, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Holla.